At age, brothers. You know what, man? Sometimes we can be spiritually childish, bro. We can be spiritually childish, man. And what I mean by that is, well, let me say it like this, man. Like, I don't think there's ever been a problem with me, like, hearing the voice of God. But I'll be honest, man. Like, if there's an area of that communication, man, if there's an area of that rapport where I drop the ball, it's listening to one specific thing, man. And this has been something that's been going on in my life. I'll say for the last 20 plus, 20-ish years, man. And that's me hearing like this voice always telling me, as I travel the journey of life, this voice telling me that the blessing that I'm seeking is on the other side. Like I've heard that in my mind, in my thoughts for years. But if there's one thing that I tend to neglect or tend to, I'll say ignore, it's that, man. I'll go against the grain when it comes to that for some reason. What I mean is this, man. Like I was thinking about something in my meditation a few minutes ago, brother, that had me just laughing, man. I was thinking about, I'll say this, like my son and I, like one thing that used to be like our thing. I'm talking about when he was a little kid up until he hit, maybe middle school. Our thing was going to jump houses, those trampoline parks and all that kind of stuff. Like that was our thing, bro. We were gonna hit them in whatever city we were in, man. And I can remember when I moved up this way, man, we found one in Frisco. And it was the one in Frisco, man. It was dope. It had this upper room type situation, man, where kids could be running around the whole pretty much ceiling, bro. And I can remember, man, we were pretty much regulars at this place. And one time, man, we were at the jump park and we were getting ready to get on this, whatever they call this little upper world. Well, he was getting ready to get on it. And there was this little guy in front of us, man. Guy was a little younger, man, a little short guy. He had this little like polar bear backpack on or something. And he had these little shiny shoes that were just lit up. And as we walking up, the whole confrontation, the whole dilemma that was going on is the little kid wanted to get on the ride. But he didn't want to take those shoes off, man. And his mom was trying to explain, like, hey, you gonna get the shoes back, but to get on this ride, you gotta take these shoes off, man. Long story short, little man didn't even ride the ride. He was so caught up on these shiny shoes, I'm assuming he had just got them, man, that he'd rather keep these shiny shoes on than get in the what I'll call the upper room, man. And I think about that, bro. And then I think about like that part of that voice I hear that I tend to ignore, that a lot of us tend to ignore. That hey man, the blessing is on the other side. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. A lot of times why we have issues, a lot of times why our blessings are delayed, a lot of times why, we'll create a world and we really can't step into it is because we have what I'll now call shiny shoe syndrome. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times we can't go into that new world, man, because we're so attached to something we some brand new to us when really the blessing was on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of us do the work. Like I can come on here, man, and we can talk meditation. We can talk about the creation process. We can talk about going to the fifth dimension and the whole shebang. You have to understand this, brothers. All that stuff is still facts. But you have to understand that doesn't mean that everything in your life is going, is able to go over there. Yeah, you can create that world, but still certain things have to take place for you to step into that world. Like I'm sure little man, I'm sure little man had asked his mom about this jump park for weeks and weeks and was probably getting on her nerves. Mom, I want to go jump. I want to go do this. I want to do this. And he built that world. And she got him right there to the entrance of the world he created. And he was like, nah, man, I like these shoes so much. I'd rather just stay here where I am than remove these things to get to that new world. And I'm telling you, man, if we really think about it, bro, that's what's keeping us keeping us from experiencing our own creation sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like like a lot of times you get into that new world that you've built, that you're standing at the threshold, man. It may take you taking off some shiny shoes, and those shiny shoes may be partners. Those shiny shoes may be bottles. Those shiny shoes may be relationships. Shiny shoes may be religions. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what time y'all watching this video, man. But at the time I'm making this video, it is 4:22 a.m., September 4th, 73 degrees here in the great state of Texas. But a lot of times, man, it's our shiny shoes, bro, that keep us from receiving the blessing, right? And when I'm honest with myself, brother, I can easily say that I've had shiny shoe syndrome a lot of times in my life. A lot of times in my life, man. And what I mean by that is I'll hear that voice and say, hey, you know what? The blessing, like the thing you want to enjoy, the thing you've been meditating on, the thing you've created, it's on the other side of this threshold, man. But everything that's a part of you right now, it can't go, bro. It can't go. And I'm 100% sure that at that point, a lot of men will, like the little man did, about face and just say, you know what? I don't want to ride it. Yeah, I've created it. Yeah, I've spent all this time and energy in creating this world. But now that I'm here, oh, these shoes can't go? Oh, my partners can't go? My girl can't go? Nah, I'm gonna chill. I'll postpone the blessing. You know what I'm saying? It's a real thing, bro. But then you gotta understand this too, man. You gotta understand, like, a lot of times those shiny shoes can slip through the cracks. Like a lot of times those shiny shoes can slip through the cracks, and this world you created is all out of whack and you don't understand why. You know what I'm saying? It's like you aren't supposed to have shoes on this ride. It's kind of like the story in the Bible of Jonah and the whale, right? Like we always focus on Jonah, right? And it's a good story, man. We always focus on the story that, hey, you know what? Jonah had a mission, and Jonah was running from his mission, man, and life got chaotic, and Jonah was running, and once he recalibrated his mind and said, okay, you know what? Let me make certain moves, let me call certain plays, and put myself in position, and then he could win, right? He ended up being a blessed individual, I'm assuming. I can't remember the end of the story, but he ended up going to the place he was supposed to go, right? But what we don't ever talk about, man, is the brothers that own the boat that Jonah snuck on, right? Like, you have to understand, these brothers were purpose-driven men. These brothers had the job in place. These brothers had a mission. They knew who they were. They knew where they were going. And they messed around and dropped the ball somewhere and let somebody sneak on the ship. Somebody dropped the ball. Somebody dropped the ball and let Jonah get on the ship. And now we're out here in these rocky waters, man, and life is chaotic, and they're probably looking like, God, what's taking place? We did what you said. We did the whole creation process. We walked in our I am. And now we're out here, man, and the roads and the waters are rocky on us. What's going on? Whole time there was a Jonah on the ship, man. Sometimes, brothers, we got to identify what that Jonah is. A lot of times that Jonah is your entourage. You know? And to be honest, man, a lot of times that Jonah is, I'll say it like this. Let me say it like this, man. A lot of times you won't understand that the shiny shoe is the shiny shoe. And I'm talking about even before you cross the threshold. You won't understand that the shiny shoe is the shiny shoe. You know, I remember, man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna keep it on it. I remember when I was younger, one of my best friends, man, growing up, like this was my ace boom, bro. Brother named Sean, man. right? And I still got love for this. That's how close me and this brother was. Yeah, I hadn't talked to this brother in probably 20 something, 30, whatever years. Still my boy. I remember, man, me and this brother, we were close, man. This was like he was like my brother, right? And I remember for some reason, as we start getting older, man, like I'm talking about like maybe like high school, maybe 9th, 11th grade, somewhere in there, you know. And I remember like we could just feel our energies being different. You know, we had known each other since 2nd, 3rd grade. We could feel our energies being different. And I remember when me and him had a hard conversation, man. It was weird. Young kids, right? And we said, bro, like, we had an understanding that at some point life is gonna be life. And like at some point we're gonna be grown adults. At some point we're gonna be older men. And we made a pact. Me and Sean made a pact, man. We said, hey, bro, one thing we're never gonna do, man, is if one of us make it, we're gonna put the other one on. But I still remember that conversation like yesterday. He said if we, both of us said if one of us make it, we gonna make sure we look out for the other one, man. You know, we dapped up on it, man. It was the agreement, and then life just started lifing after that, man. For some reason, man, Sean was a little bit older than me, and when Sean got his license, man. When Sean got his driver's license, brother, I didn't see that brother forever. He just dipped and left me. He was like, hey, man, I'm in a whole new world, you know. And hell, maybe I was Sean's shiny shoe, you know. But he said, hey, man, he was like, I got my license, man. Like, I'm finna get out, get on these ladies. I got new friends. I got this. And I was just like, dang, this been my boy since 2nd grade. And we were just out of sync, man. But then there came a point in time, brother, where I evolved and I got my license and I had a different mindset. I had this go-getter mindset. My life just went, you know, when I was a young man, my life was lifing, bro. My life was lifing. And I can remember, man, me and Sean, we just started hanging out again, man, and he wanted to kind of get back in my world. And I was like, no, bro, like, and it wasn't, you know, my thing is the pack was still the pack. But at that point, I was just saying, man, like life is so different now. Like the things that I'm entertaining, like you don't fit that anymore. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is a lot of times, man, we don't understand that like a lot of times, even though we've agreed to something, we might not know that it's a shiny shoe until later in the game, man. And again, a lot of times we make decisions to have people, places, and things in our life that don't fit in that world. You know, ultimately what I'm saying is this, man. We have to stop being childish. Like we have to stop being spiritually childish, man. And we have to understand that a lot of us, like strictly based on the way that we move, strictly based on the way that we see the world, strictly based on the mission we've accepted in life. Because a lot of us have accepted missions. You know what I'm saying? I promise on everything I know, bro. I can remember being, I want to say 6 years old or 7 years old. I can clearly remember knowing at 6 or 7 years old that my life would be like it is right now. And what I mean is not like, oh, the place I live and the people in my life, not that, but the mission that I was on. The mission that I'm on, the mission to overturn certain rocks of knowledge, the mission to call out the BS of religion or whatever it is. Like for me, like my mission is to uncover truth. That's my ultimate mission. My ultimate mission in life is to uncover truth to the best of my ability and show that truth to my brothers. Like that's what I'm going to do until I die. Right? I knew that at 6 or 7 years old. And I tell the story. When I was sitting in Sunday school, looking at a picture on the wall, and my Sunday school teacher sitting there talking about, hey, going to heaven, and this is and in my mind, at 6 or 7 years old, brothers, I say, you know what? I have no idea what truth is, but I know this is not it. And I said, at some point, it's gonna be my mission to uncover that truth and share it with people. I didn't know if it would be from a pulpit. I didn't know if it would be in a masjid. I didn't know, right? But a lot of times, man, we accept missions, brother, like people that are living their life for a mission. a lot of times we got to understand, bro, that it's going to be a lot of times and maybe forever that that since we've signed up for said mission, we got to travel solo, man. You got to travel solo. It's like what some of us signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times, like I said, your entourage won't go. A lot of times the habits and things and that we have, that we brought on over time, they can't go. A lot of the times the relationships that we've established, they can't go. And a lot of times we'll find ourselves fighting. A lot of times we'll find ourselves at the threshold arguing with the bouncer of the new world, talking about the shiny shoes need to go. And it's like, no, bro, it's like, no, you built something else. And these artifacts, these people, these places that you hold high, they can't go, bro. So all I'm saying is this, man. All I'm saying is, and I'm going back to that voice that I hear. I'm going back to that message that I've been hearing for 20 years. Like, yes, like source energy, God is going to bless you with that thing. You want the finances. You want the level of health. You want the relationship with certain type brothers. You want relationship with a certain type woman in your life. A lot of times you just have to be patient, man, and stop trying to caravan your old world into your new world. Like a lot of times the blessing that you're trying to create is on the other side. A lot of times you got to just wait, cross that threshold, and trust. Because that's really what it comes down to is trust, man. It's trust. And I talk about this all the time. I talked about this in A Singular Truth. When I said, hey, at some point, a man is going to find himself at the threshold, man. Like right before he transitions, right when he's standing on that vast ocean. And at that point is when he has to make a decision. And in A Singular Truth, man, I said, this man is at this threshold, right? And his old world is around him. His old world is observing him. All the ladies in his life, all the partners in his life, all the vices in his life, his family, everybody's observing him, saying, hey, you know what? What choice will he make? What choice will he make? And again, at that point, I say, there's no more traveling the path. At that point, it's simply transcending. It's simply transcending. And the thing is, man, a lot of things that we have, a lot of our shiny shoes can't transcend, man. A lot of times we got to take our shoes off to get to this new world, brother. We got to take our shoes off, man. So all I'm saying is this, brothers. Trust in source energy, man. And know that the thing you've been asking for, that thing that you hold dear, it's on the other side, brothers.